So, before we get into what Oula does, let's talk about the genesis story of how Oula came about. Tell us a little bit about the creation of Oula.
I think in many ways, Oula is the company I've wanted to build my whole career. And I say that because I started off getting a master's in global health focused on sexual and reproductive health. And sort of in starting a company, you ask yourself a lot, like, why do this? Because it is a crazy journey. And I think a lot of my initial passion for the space comes from growing up as one of four with three brothers. And so I'd say I've always been sort of uniquely attuned to things that are different for women because I'm so used to sort of watching my brother's experiences in this world. And so it's an area I've loved, but I left grad school thinking, wow, so often this is the world, frankly, of like politics in the US, and not quite sure how I was going to be able to build something that had an impact. And so I left grad school saying, like, if I'm going to be able to do anything in this space, like, I really need to understand sort of the business side of it, since that seems to dominate so often how things get paid for, what gets built. And so I left and I spent some time doing healthcare consulting, working with large health systems and insurers. Then I spent some time actually working at a large health system in Long Island called Northwell, and then actually building something in cancer. And so finally, when I got to my 30s and on a very personal level, got married and started thinking about having kids, I probably like thought about women's health again in a way that I hadn't been able to focus since grad school. Um, and was honestly floored to hear the experiences that other women were having as I was asking friends, sort of talking to other women about what prenatal care, what birth looked like. And honestly, they described something that I'd say at best felt like a really impersonal and cookie cutter and kind of like factory line approach to care. And obviously, at worst, something that felt really dangerous. It wasn't a system that I wanted to go through. And so I felt like a sense of urgency to be able to build Ula, selfishly for myself, and then obviously for lots of other women and birthing people who needed a better experience and felt like at the core of what was broken, and what we could fix at Ula was a care model problem, which we built the wrong system to deliver maternity care in this country.